Earlier this week, we heard from the Goldwater Institute on its lawsuit against the Arizona Department of Water Resources on behalf of the Home Builders Association of Arizona. The lawsuit claims that the department's groundwater regulations on new home developments are unconstitutional. Tonight, we hear from the other side. Tom Bushatsky is a director of the State Department of Water Resources, and he joins us now. It's good to have you here. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, good evening. Thanks for having me.
You betcha. Let's start with the lawsuit. They're saying that basically your ideas of an active management area do not abide by state law, and decisions that you made need to be made by elected representatives. How do you respond?
So those decisions have been made by elected representatives. The 1980 Groundwater Management Act was something that went through our legislature and was signed by our governor. We did rulemaking to implement the law in 1994 and in 2006. That was a formal process that allowed for input by the public. So we believe we are following the law as it is laid out, and it's really important that we do so because what's at stake here is the water for our existing homeowners.
And yet they say that, especially with active management areas, and we should probably get to this right away, because what they're saying is, and the home builders are pushing this, that they want the 100-year designation for the proposed use. And it sounds like what you're saying is proposed use is fine over here, but if you're in the active management area and it's going to mean less water over there or for future developments, that's a problem.
So the standard is for the use of the homes they want to build. But when you look at assessing that, you have to look at all the water that's already been allocated to all the water users in the active management area. And all of that is allocated over the 100-year time frame. And we have a term of art for that called unmet demand. Unmet demand means if the new homes are permitted for water by me, they're going to potentially take away water from the homes that exist. So my premise is that means there is not water for the use of those new homes.
So you're looking at the entire area as opposed to the proposed development.
That is correct, because the homeowners in the entire area share a common resource, the underground water aquifer within the Phoenix Active Management Area, or Maricopa County in this case.
Okay, the lawsuit, the Goldwater Institute, who we had on earlier this week, they're saying you basically made that rule by the stroke of a pen, and that is not something that was as part of the Groundwater Management Act, not something that the legislature was involved with. And again, lawmakers need to make these kinds of decisions. Do they have a point?
They are incorrect because the law was created by the lawmakers. As I said, the rulemaking process, which is a formal process open to the public for comment, then determines how the laws should be implemented, because laws are written in a way that there's not always a lot of detail. So those are legally binding as well. The rules are legally binding. We adopted them pursuant to state law, and we've been following them since they were first adopted in the 90s and modified in the mid-2000s.
So when they say that there was no administrative rulemaking here, there was no public comment, you say?
There was in 1994 and in 2006, and that is a matter of record.
Was the active management area as a whole, as we're talking about right now, the unmet demand aspect of all this, was that a factor in those earlier years, or is that something that has just recently, because it sounds to me like Governor Ducey back in, 2017, something along those lines, that was kind of his idea.
So in 2017, this unmet demand idea first daylighted in Pinal County, the Pinal Active Management Area. Unmet demand, again, is a term of art that collectively describes the law and all the rules so that people can more easily understand what that means without having to read through 30 or 40 pages of legalese, which we know people hate.
Okay, so back in 2017, that idea was look out for the future, protect the homeowners that are there right now, correct?
And that is been the standard since the inception of the program in the 1990s. We just kind of hit this wall in 2017 in Pinal County and later in Maricopa County, where the unmet demand first started surfacing. Before that, we were approving homeowner water permits, assured water supply permits, because we could. We didn't have the unmet demand at that point in time. Then when it started to surface, I could no longer approve those assured water supply permits.
So that idea, the fact that you could no longer approve the permits, that do you think is what, because we had them here, and that's basically what they're saying, that's why they're taking you to court.
That is correct. And There are hundreds of thousands of lots already approved that have not yet been built. So this is not no more homes. This is let's use the inventory we have with the water we have and be careful about not stretching our water supplies past the breaking point for new homes.
And when the Goldwater Institute, again, says here on this show that you're making affordable housing the crisis, you are making it worse with this interpretation or this regulation as far as the AMA Active Management Area is concerned. You say.
You started out this segment talking about mortgage rates and home buying going down. There's lots of factors that go into whether people can afford homes or whether they buy homes. The water part of home owning is a very small percentage of what it takes for these home builders to be able to build and sell homes.
And they're saying, though, that this happening, the homeowners, home building is not happening because of how you're defining this, happening in some of the areas that need homes the most and are the best suited for first-time home buyers. Again, do they have a point?
So they definitely talked about Queen Creek and Buckeye.
Yes.
Far southeast, far west part of our county. Those folks have been working with us on some new programs that we put into place, something called an alternative designation of assured water supply that allows them to move forward. We give a bridge of some groundwater to those folks. Then they have to go get renewable supplies and offset some of that bridged groundwater. But over the 100-year time frame, looking at the health of the aquifer, it improves the health of the aquifer. So we were making a positive benefit and still allowing them to move forward and build homes.
So the bottom line is assured groundwater for existing homeowners is key, correct?
That is correct. And we need to make sure I protect those that are already here and that the people who are buying new homes have the benefit of the bargain that they're going to have water for the 100-year assured water supply state requirements.
And yet the home builders, Goldwater Institute, called your interpretation here the largest bureaucratic power grab in Arizona history.
So they kind of called me a dictator. And here's how I take that. When the law and the facts are not on your side, you start to looking at the person and saying things about the person to marginalize them. Those comments they've made, to me, means they know they don't have a strong case. So they have to attack me as a dictator and attack what I'm doing as the director of the department.
But we should mention now, you said the Goldwater Institute was representing, and this is your quote, a powerful group of irresponsible development interests. Going after them pretty hard there.
Well, that is correct. But responsible development means you have water for the 100 years. They are trying to overturn the law. That is what they're trying to do. They claim they are trying to uphold the law by saying lawmakers have to make the law, which they have in this case. They're trying to get a judge to overturn the law and let them build homes without the 100-year assured water supply.
Last question before you go. Lawmakers, I think this week, are starting to ask, do we know how much water we have? And if not, why not?
So the water we have is easily measured when it's above the ground. When you have water below the ground that you can't see, we have groundwater models that help tell us how much water is there and whether or not these new assured water supply applications can be approved. The home builders have been trying to debunk my model for many years and have not done that. Their latest version of debunking is finding a way to just systematically drain the aquifers. That's a model that they've been working on for quite a while.
Tom Bushatsky, Arizona Department of Water Resources, glad to get you on and have your response to the lawsuit. Good to have you here.
Thank you.